What's up, everybody? It's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Avenger as a part of my Does It Suck series. The Avenger is a pearlescent Tediore SMG that has a couple special properties. First, it has a unique throw reload like some other special Tediore weapons, and you'll notice when it's thrown here it bounces around and eventually comes to a stop, but all the while shooting bullets in every direction. Beyond that, you'll notice that the Avenger also regenerates SMG ammo when you are holding it. You actually have to be holding it, though, as your current weapon. It can't just be in your inventory or in your loadout, because otherwise it won't regenerate that ammo for you. Beyond those two special abilities, if we compare it to a similar parted purple Tediore, we'll notice that it has a significantly increased base damage and magazine size. We'll be using it here with the legendary Soldier Comm and Corrosive Bone of the Ancients to determine its viability in normal mobbing combat. This weapon is favored for raiding with Axton because when using it with the B, it gets a massive amount of damage. So we'll see how it does here. First, just as a regular straight shooting SMG, and you can see there that it killed an enemy in less than one magazine. When we get to some other areas, we will test how the weapon does using its throw reload as well. Now, one interesting thing to note about the weapon is that it does not stop when it gets to an enemy. I noticed that, well, crap, I can't move this stupid power loader. I sincerely hate when enemies are unaffected by singularity grenades for whatever reason. That is truly aggravating. I was going to try to group those enemies up and test the throw reload over there, but for whatever reason, you know, some enemies are invulnerable to singularity grenades. Seems like a fundamental flaw with game mechanics. But you can see there that the throw reloads were helping take out that hot loader. So that's good stuff there. Just as a normal weapon, this weapon appears plenty viable right now, especially when Battlefront and other kill skills perhaps are active. Well, Battlefront's not a kill skill, but when Battlefront and your kill skills are active, if you're spec'd into Metal Storm and Onslaught, this weapon, like many others, is definitely a very serviceable weapon, just as, you know, a regular weapon. But if we combine that with its ability to also deal some good throw reload damage, it becomes a pretty solid weapon, especially on Axton. Now, I'm sure Maya could get good use out of it as well, just based on her, you know, potency and ability with SMGs, so that's something to keep in mind, I guess. But even here on Axton, just as a traditional straight shooting weapon, plenty viable. Definitely does not suck. There are some people who say all pearlescents suck, and that's simply not true. We know that there are several pearlescent weapons, including the Becca, the Butcher, and more, that are quite good, and probably the Avenger amongst them. Now, I'm not an experienced user, perhaps, of Tediore weapons, and so I'll probably do some premature reloading of the weapon here, and I apologize for that. That will probably cause us to encounter some ammo issues as we go through, but hopefully the Tediore Avenger's special ability to regenerate SMG ammo can mitigate my problems with forgetting to not reload the gun. Obviously, you know, I've played quite a few games with guns before, and it's almost always advantageous to reload the weapon before your next combat sequence if possible. And so, just on the throw reloads there, it seemed like we were doing some damage, but obviously, right there, it bounced back and killed me. So, that's something to definitely keep in mind with the weapon, for certain. They can bounce back and kill you. That's something you definitely need to keep in mind when throwing it against perhaps a flat surface or a surface that you are currently perpendicular to, at least, you know, if you drew a line connecting you to that surface, that could be something to watch out for. Alright, so we're trying to collect ammo right now. We only have a little over 700. Obviously, it is continually ticking up as long as I hold the Avenger, so that's what I'll try to do. Don't want to run out of ammo with this weapon here because I get too crazy with the throw reloads, especially when it is so potent as a traditional weapon. Now, there are obviously more potent traditional weapons, especially on Axton, but you know, you'd be wrong to say that this weapon is bad or not viable at OP8 or anything. Here might be an interesting situation for the throw reloads, perhaps. So these power loaders at least decided to get in there. It seems that the times when enemies are unaffected by the singularities are when they're trying to shoot I-beams or get locked in some sort of other animation, I guess. But like I said, it does not explode when it hits them. I think that the weapon and Tediore weapons in general would be perhaps a little bit easier to use if they actually exploded when they hit the enemy. I got a little bit too close to that guy. That is my bad. Alright. Get our health back just as we're waiting here, basically, so that we can get back into fighting the normal enemies now that they are spawning. So we got another exploder there. Sounds like we got a power loader over here. And a gun loader that away. Let this guy deal with himself, and then I'm going to go right at this guy. I have Battlefront active, so we should tear him up pretty quickly, especially if I can manage to hit critical hits. Now that we have that done, we'll have Metal Storm and Onslaught for this next guy, and the next guy after that. I don't know if he killed me or if a random rogue Avenger reload came and killed me, but regardless, I went down. However, this guy is probably the guy that killed me, come to think of it. But the Avenger was potent enough to get me back up. But that is something to watch out for when using the Avenger. It could very much rebound and kill you, and that's probably not the most desirable thing in the world, come to think of it. Now, what I'm trying to do here is get up to this guy before he gets out of this hallway, just because I think it could be kind of funny to throw these at him, but that obviously didn't work out for me. So, I'm going to retreat a little bit, get my health up, perhaps. Let him deal with that for a minute. Come get some ammo. I don't know. Basically, what I know is that I am well below health gate, so kind of letting that happen at the moment. But I still want to throw some things into him, so I don't know. Go hiding here. I definitely feel like there are situations where you could use this weapon and it would be ultra effective, like bouncing around in that hallway or something, for example. However, those situations are probably difficult to set up in ordinary combat, and some maps and areas are going to be a lot more difficult than others. And so it's not incredibly practical to rely on that, perhaps. Okay. So we'll let this guy blow up. And we'll kind of see what's spawning here while we have protection from this hot loader. Or while we thought we had protection from this hot loader, but he decided to blow up one of the lovely nearby barrels, one of Pandora's major attractions. Naturally occurring, impossible barrels of different elemental variety. Okay. We'll reclaim the turret for now and begin advancing through this room. Like I said, I would imagine that there are certain scenarios where the Avenger's reload could be incredibly potent and useful. Perhaps this is one of them. I'm not entirely certain. But we're above these enemies right now, and there are a couple of them out there. It looks like there are surfaces that they could bounce around on down there and kill them. So, something happened to that power loader. We'll assume it was the Avenger. Makes the most sense, at least. Some combination of the Avenger and the turret, at the very least. So long as I have Metal Storm and Battlefront active, the weapon is potent enough to kill anything. Or any normal enemy, at least. Power loaders are a special challenge for Axton because they often reflect your turret's slag bullets into you, which is monumentally aggravating. Shooting up is perhaps a bad usage case scenario for the Avenger, because then I think it's more likely that your Avenger reloads could or would bounce back into you. Okay, so we have plenty of ammo. Let's go ahead and go forward now. There will be some more enemies up here for us to deal with, I would imagine, unless something completely wonky happens. It's just a potent weapon by itself. As a straight shooting traditional weapon, its potency is not totally lacking. In combination with its special ability to reload or regenerate SMG ammo, and it's, very useful for raiding reload, I would definitely say this weapon doesn't suck. Its reload gimmick is perhaps not as useful for some scenarios as others, but it's powerful nonetheless. We could probably line up like several reloads to hit this guy at the right time or whatever and take him out. I don't know. It's kind of hard to line them up without major practice, and that I definitely don't have. But you can see us tearing through that enemy fairly quickly. Let's go ahead and clear out the last room here. Oops, ran out of money. I could probably sell something, but we don't need to. We got plenty of ammo. Alright. There'll be some enemies in here. Obviously, they will no longer be 4-player health scaled after a recent patch, so that's good stuff. What a bad time to have to reload my slag rifle. Whatever, we still got Pervy dead, so good stuff. I was a little bit low on health there, so switched on over and moved out a little bit. Regardless, we're going to kill this guy. Now I think there's only one more enemy left, so he's slagged. Let's lay into him here. And that'll be the end of that. So, I would definitely say that the Avenger doesn't suck. Some people say all pearlescent items suck. Those people are indeed idiots. So, if you guys have any questions, leave them below. As always, though, I do thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Again, the answer to the question, does it suck, regarding the Avenger, I would say is a resounding no. It's a pretty powerful little weapon. One more time, guys, thanks for watching, and I do hope to catch you next time. Bye, guys.